So we keep getting more information about the classes that are coming out in the remaster, and it's really, really close. The next one we got is the Witch, which is kind of appropriate considering the time of year that it is. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the blog post and see what they have in store for us. So my name is Don. I'm trying to be the Sly Strategist, and let's go ahead and get into it. So the Witch class was introduced, prior. However, it was a very, very hard class to play. So there was a lot of excitement that they were going to be doing something with the Witch when they remastered the player core. Now, the Witch is an iconic fantasy archetype, and it has a lot of historical and cultural significance. And they were very aware that the Witch class kind of fell short of its potential, and it is one of the ones that got significant changes in the remaster. So let's go over some of these things. So some of the key features in Pathfinder is that the Witch has a connection to a magical familiar as well as a mysterious patron. This power that the Witch gets is derived from a bargain or a pact with a patron, and the familiar provides power kind of like a conduit, and it ensures that the Witch is advancing the patron's agenda. If you're not advancing the patron's agenda, then you aren't going to be getting the power through the familiar. So, kind of some of the things that they did is they enhanced familiar abilities unique to the patron. The remaster emphasizes the Witch's mastery of familiars and their own familiar, and the familiar's capabilities have been improved, including unique patron specific abilities. Now, these abilities that you are going to get align with the patron's theme, and they generate passive effects when casting or trying to sustain hex cantrips. Now, I'm going to read a little bit directly out of the blog post, but I really couldn't think of a better way to summarize this. So, for example, a familiar granted by Silence and Snow patron is forever cold to the touch. It might be the color of ice, or its breath might crystallize in the air, and so every time you cast or sustain one of your hex spells, frost will form next to your familiar, creating difficult terrain. Now, one thing about the familiar is that they are very strong, but they have a limited range, and you can protect them with spells like Phase Familiar and Patron's Puppet while they are in use. Now, one of the things that they wanted to talk about were some quality of life improvements. So, in order to facilitate that, they did some changes to hex cantrips. Enemies no longer become temporarily immune to their effects after casting, and the limitation of one hex cantrip per turn and the need to sustain them are considered sufficient restrictions. Some hex cantrips, previously limited in scope, have been expanded to target any creature, and certain types of creatures are going to become more vulnerable. A little bit more on the Witch's growth and the familiar development. As the Witch gains power, the familiar is also going to gain power. Higher level feats that the Witch can get grant the familiar special abilities, and some feats allow the patron to manifest through the familiar, and it creates some eerie effects. And I really kind of like this for flavor. One of the examples they have, and we'll kind of show it here, is the patron's presence feat partially disrupts the magic of other spellcasters on the battlefield. So the patron's presence is a feat 14, and your patron can direct its attention through your familiar, and its mere presence becomes an ominous weight on the minds of other beings to distract them and blot out their magic. Your familiar gains the following activity, and then it goes into what the patron's presence is. So patron's presence is 2 actions, and it is an aura. You can cast it once per hour, and it is a palpable weight extends from your familiar in a 15-foot emanation. Enemies who enter or start their turn within the aura must succeed at a will save against your spell DC or become stupefied 2 as long as they remain within the aura, or stupefied 3 on a critical failure. The aura lasts until the end of your next turn, but the familiar can sustain it up to 1 minute. Now, because of these kind of things, once again, you should protect your familiar because enemies might target it. Now, they also wanted to bring forth some new feats to be inspired by witch folklore, and developers drew from global witch folklore to introduce a range of new feats for witches. They basically tried to develop these with the expertise of, and I hope I get these names right, but Simone D. Sally and Shay Snow, who both have deep knowledge of folk magic traditions. Some notable feats include Ceremonial Knife, which allows a knife or a dagger to act as a wand and channel magical energies. Witch's Armaments, which introduces iron teeth in addition to eldritch nails and living hair, which are things that your witch can use, as well as Witch's Broom, which lets you enchant a broom with flying ornaments, transforming it into a flying broomstick for nighttime travel. And that's also applicable to staffs, polearms, similar objects, providing players with tools for, and I love this word here, is witchy lifestyle in the game world. Now, all these little introductions of classes makes me more and more excited for the remaster to come out, and we don't have that many weeks left in order when it will come out, and I'm super excited for that. But I do hope you like this little summary of the Witch and how it is going to be remastered. And if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, or hit that notification bell. But whatever you do, I hope you have a great day and happy adventuring. Thanks.